this amazing thing Abdullah taught Neville Goddard. It's something that I don't hear anybody talking about. I kind of hear something about, they talk about Barbados or whatever, but Abdullah literally, like he taught obviously Neville Goddard everything, and he taught him this one lesson that I'm gonna teach you guys right now. That's something that I'm putting into practice that makes sense to me, and that'll probably help you guys with your things, to get your desires. Well, everybody, this is me, Andrew with Manifesting Me. I am just a guy who is studying law of assumption and Neville Goddard and other teachers, that other people that have actually had success with law of assumption consistently. You know, I am not like, I'm just doing this thing right now where I'm just learning from Neville Goddard directly, listening to his lectures, to his conversations, to his interviews, or whatever you guys want to call them, his lectures, and reading his books, and just learning straight from him, the person that brought all this into existence. I'm not going to watch this from anybody else or whatever. Because most of the people don't know what they're doing, and if they do have some success, whatever, they don't know how to describe it. So I'm learning from the people that did it, that taught everybody everything. Now, if you guys don't know, Abdullah is the person that is Neville Goddard's mentor, that taught Neville everything about law of assumption, about everything that he knows now. If you guys don't know who Neville is, Abdullah is, he's a black dude. I don't know what is where he's from, but I think he's from India. I don't know, man. He's wearing like a turban on top of his head. I don't know, from the picture that he has. I have no idea. Obviously, I haven't researched Abdullah at all, but all I know is that Abdullah is Neville Goddard's mentor. So these are Neville Goddard's exact words. So Neville talks about he wants to go to Barbados to see his family, and this is during the Depression, I guess, 1922. That I guess that's the time that he's talking about. And Neville talks about his mentor Abdullah. And during this time, obviously Neville's learning from Abdullah because he's his mentor, he's his friend. And at this time, everybody's it's the whole Great Depression where nobody has jobs. And Neville talks about everybody living in parks where the mayor allowed it, where people sleep, and then when they wake up, they get coffee and bread every morning, I guess, like long lines. And Neville, he's living in a basement. He doesn't have a job, he doesn't have any money to his name, literally nothing. And he speaks to, he said in the thing he's talking about that he didn't think about going to Barbados for a long time, but now he has like a hunger to go. And he's talking to his mentor and tells him that he wants to go to Barbados. And then Abdullah says, "You are in Barbados." Neville said, "I'm in Barbados." Abdullah said, "Yes, you are now in Barbados." He says, "You see Barbados and you see America from Barbados. You can smell the tropical land in Barbados, see only the little homes in Barbados. That's all you do. Just simply sleep this night in Barbados." After the conversation with Abdullah, Neville said he was insane and he thought it was so stupid. And Neville, he assumed, so Neville, I guess, talked about whatever. He said, "Okay, fine, I'm going to do this." I am just paraphrasing. Neville assumed he was in Barbados, in his mother's home. He saw America relative to Barbados. He did this, I guess, for a whole week. A week passed, and he wanted to discuss with Abdullah. I guess it was November now. And he told Abdullah, and he basically wanted to speak to Abdullah. And Abdullah, he wanted to tell Abdullah that nothing has happened. He did this for a whole week, every night going to sleep. And Abdullah, his mentor, he didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to discuss it with him. He told him, "Hey, nothing has happened." And then I guess he went to his house, whatever, because Abdullah lived in a nice apartment. A nice home, I guess, in a building. I think he had the whole 4th floor or whatever. And this was the Depression, a black dude, you know. You guys know how it was back then for those people, you know. And he just wouldn't discuss it with Neville. And obviously Neville's like, "Come on, man, let me talk this to you. I want to talk about, how I'm going to be ready." Like, he wants to discuss how he's going to get there, But he didn't want to. Abdullah was teaching Neville a lesson, I guess, that he didn't know yet. That not to discuss it or not to discuss how to get there. And he did this for a whole month, I guess. A whole month passed, and then on December 4th, he still has no job and no place to go, I guess. That's what he says. And the last boat to take him to Christmas, to Barbados on Christmas, is sailing on the 6th, the last boat of the year to Barbados. So on the 4th, so he gets a letter from his brother under his door. His brother Victor, his brother gave him $40. I guess his brother talked about, hey, all of us, we're all going to be at Christmas, and you not having a job or any money is no excuse for you not to be there. So essentially, and this is the first time this ever happened in Neville Goddard's family, and literally, like, his brother's like, it's just an excuse that his brother's giving him for him to go to Barbados to see his family. And so his brother gave him $50 to buy clothes, shoes, whatever he needs, and he got him a first-class ticket to Barbados on the Furnace Ready line. And it's not the ticket for him just to go, show him the letter, and tell him that it's his, and that, you know, he's gonna go. So Neville is excited. He goes, he can pick up his ticket, and they said that they don't have any first-class tickets, any first-class accommodations. So you're gonna be in the third class. You're gonna sleep there, but you could use the first-class accommodations. And Neville Goddard, he's ecstatic. He doesn't care what room he stays in, essentially. So he goes, so he gets it, and he talks to Abdullah. He rushed to Abdullah. He says, I got my ticket to Barbados, and I told him I'm going third class. He's happy and he's elated. And Abdullah said, who told you you're going to Barbados? And who told you that you went to Barbados third class? Abdullah said, you went to Barbados and you went first class. And he would say no more. He wasn't even happy that he was going to Barbados. It was kind of funny. And then on the day that Neville was going on his trip, he gives them his ticket, and they tell him, someone, like, he says, we have good news, Mr. Goddard. Someone has canceled, and you're going first class all the way. They're 10 days down, so 10 days there and 10 days back. And obviously Neville's like, this is awesome, man. He spent 3 heavenly months in Barbados. So all Neville did is he tried the best of his ability. He tried the best of his ability to just what Abdullah told him to do. And Abdullah told him, by his rudeness, do not discuss how you're going. Sorry. So Abdullah essentially taught Neville Goddard to don't discuss it at all, don't discuss how you're going to do it, because it doesn't matter how you do it, you know, because all you're going to do is just mess up your manifestation. And Abdullah told him, just, you're in, he tells him right away, as soon as he talks about it, you're in Barbados right now. He went, he taught Neville Goddard that he went into imagination in Barbados and actually do all that in the state. Abdullah put Neville in Barbados in his imagination. So he slept in Barbados to the best of his ability. Days went by, weeks went by, and a month went by. And he's trying to discuss it with his mentor for a little bit of hope. But Abdullah, he wouldn't give him any help. He said no hope. He wouldn't give him any encouragement. If Neville did what Abdullah told him to do, you know, because he didn't need to. He didn't need any hope, you know. Abdullah taught Neville there is no such thing as a little pregnancy. If you did it, you are pregnant. Let the child grow, and interference. Yeah, so she just said you're pregnant. Let the child grow. Interference with it is going to cause a miscarriage. You assume you're in Barbados. The idea is you're going to give birth to a journey which will land you right in Barbados if you assumed it. This is conception. He taught him, don't argue. You are conceived. All you have to do is be a faithful mother and bear that child, and don't discuss it with me anymore. And he never discussed it after he told them, you're in Barbados. Okay, so that's everything that I wrote down for I guess the kind of like when Neville Goddard, he talks about how he met Abdullah. I don't know his last name, but his mentor Abdullah. So he's telling him how he taught him how to go to Barbados, essentially. You know, that you're in Barbados right now, and that he wouldn't discuss it. And then when he got the ticket, he told him, hey, you're going first class all the way through. So obviously Abdullah, like, this dude, I guess he's very, well, not impatient, but he's trying to teach Neville Goddard a lesson on how to manifest and how I guess, use your imagination, whatever. At least that's what I got from that interpretation. For me, you know, like, he essentially taught Neville Goddard that just keep on doing what you're doing. Like, be a faithful mother, you know, like, have faith. Like, you're pregnant, so you're gonna give birth, you know. Don't talk negative, or I mean, don't discuss how you're gonna do it or anything like that, because you're gonna create a miscarriage. You're gonna kill your, I guess, your baby inside you, whatever. That's what a miscarriage is essentially. You know, if that happens, you're gonna kill the idea. You're gonna kill, I guess, the momentum or whatever. I guess that's what it seems to me. And for me, it kind of makes sense, you know, like, don't discuss it. Don't discuss it. Don't discuss how you're gonna get your desire, essentially. I think that's what it's teaching people. Because Abdullah has a quote that says, I'll do it, I'll continue to do it, and I'll continue to do it until I get what is desired or whatever. I forget what the quote is exactly. I have it in one of my books. I'm gonna go look for it, but that's essentially what Abdullah is teaching him. Because continue to go back to the wish fulfilled, to go to the state of you being in Barbados, essentially, because that's his because that's what Neville Goddard wants. He wants to be in Barbados. And Abdullah is telling him, like by not saying anything to him, don't discuss it. Don't try to figure out how you're gonna get there, because it doesn't matter. You're in Barbados right now. You know, that's why he said, who told you you're going to Barbados? You went to Barbados, past tense. You know, and you went first class. You know, because essentially he's telling him, like, don't say you're gonna go. You're going. Like, don't future tense it. You're there right now. You know, like, you're there right now. So for me, this is a really awesome lesson, because we have too much information for people. Like, you guys study Neville Goddard and study his lectures. Like this conversation with Abdullah taught me a lot, and not just encouragement, like, to not mess with your desires. You know, like, Neville Goddard during this whole thing, he's having doubts. He doesn't believe it's gonna happen. He thinks it's stupid. Like, everything that Abdullah is teaching him, he doesn't think it's gonna work. But he's staying faithful to his teacher because he knows how his teacher lives. It's like, if he does it, then I'm gonna give it a try. So he does it. He does it for a long time. He does it for a week, nothing happened. Does it for more weeks pass, nothing happens. He does it for a month, it doesn't happen. And then the day is coming up, because I guess he's manifesting on a time crunch, essentially. And then he gets a letter when he thinks it's not going to happen. Neville Goddard is having doubts, you guys. He's having doubts. And yet he's still got his desire. Having doubts. He did what Abdullah told him to do every night before sleep. He imagined that he was in Barbados. He did the visualization to the best of his ability. Like, however that meant. So it doesn't mean you don't have to be perfect in your manifestation, whatever he tries to say and do. He says you're in Barbados right now. Like, Neville Goddard's teacher told him you're in there. Neville Goddard saw him in Barbados. You know, Abdullah saw him in Barbados. You know, he saw him use his imagination to put him there. So it's probably, I guess, what you could kind of think is, you know, Abdullah's pushing his reality onto him to teach Neville Goddard a lesson. That you're in Barbados. Like, don't worry about it. Like, don't discuss it with me. Like, all the times he would try to have a discussion about his manifestation, Abdullah, he wouldn't talk to him at all. So understand that obviously Neville Goddard, he's not perfect. He never was perfect. Even he messed up in his manifestations. You know, he doubted, and yet he still got his manifestation. The impossible. He didn't have a job. He didn't have a place to live. I mean, he had a place to live, but I guess he lived in a basement. He didn't have any money, no job, no money, and he didn't have any decent clothes. His brother sent him $50, which was a lot of money back then. I don't know, essentially, maybe, I don't know how much, maybe $500, I guess. I don't know, because everything was cheap. And he gave him money to buy some good stuff, and he gave him a ticket first class, his brother. You know, because I guess his brothers were all really, because obviously the story about how Neville Goddard's family got really big, got really wealthy through his father. You know, his father did it. But I digress. But all I'm saying is, Neville Goddard literally, he stayed faithful to what Abdullah taught him. Even though he had doubts, even though he was doubting it probably the entire time, this is not going to happen. Maybe, possibly, I don't know how Neville Goddard, but he had doubts. I just understand that. And all he did was, he did to the best ability. He saw himself in his mother's house. Like, he did what Abdullah told him to do, you know, in Barbados. Like, you're in Barbados, looking at America from, I guess, Barbados, saying that, because he was looking north, whatever, 2,000 miles away from Barbados. He was seeing America, you know, from Barbados. He imagined, I don't know what he imagined, but he imagined just what he thought, what it would be like, how it would feel if he was in Barbados with his mother and his family's home. And his brother, out of nowhere, sent him a letter giving him money and gave him a ticket to go. He didn't have any money, didn't have anything. And his circumstances were the worst probably possible ever. He wasn't homeless, but he didn't have a job because everybody didn't have a job. Like, this was in the Depression. And then he went there. I guess it was a 10-day sail, and 10 days there and 10 days back. First class, he came back. He stayed there 3 months in Barbados. And then when he came back, he brought Abdullah, I think, 2 of the most expensive bottles of, I think, a whiskey or something. He brought him rum, and they gave him to Abdullah because I guess Abdullah loved drinking. And it's kind of funny. It's like he drank them all in the day. He thought that they're gonna last him years, but I guess he drank them all fast. It's kind of like a funny thing. I didn't finish all of it, but which I'm going to finish. I just want to make this video as fast as I can because I just want to get this out. I have it scheduled and edited. Like, these things that we're learning is you're like this. I guess essentially saying, I guess you're just there. You're there right now, and don't contradict it. Don't discuss it with anybody. Don't try to figure out how you're going to go there or how it's going to happen. Just imagine your desire as if you already have it right now. And then just imagine before you go to sleep. I guess just do this before you go to sleep. You know, maybe during the day, I don't know, try to figure out. I guess just try to figure out what you want. You know, be clear on what you want in your desire. And even Neville Goddard says in this, I guess, a lecture or whatever, I assume it's a lecture, he's saying, we're all human. I'm human, Abdullah's human. It's okay to have these feelings. It's okay to have doubts. He's saying, I guess essentially he's saying you don't have to be perfect, you know? Like, just do to the best of your ability, you know, the best that you can do. And then just be faithful, like he says, be a mother and just have faith that the child's gonna come out fine, you know? Like, don't have a miscarriage. Don't essentially kill your idea. Don't kill your baby, you know? Because obviously the words that he talks about, impregnation, like, there's no such thing as a little bit pregnant, I guess you could kind of say. That's what Abdullah says. You're pregnant. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you're not a little bit pregnant. Like, you're pregnant. That's it. Obviously, when a girl gets pregnant, she's pregnant. It's not, you know, not a little bit. There's no such thing as a little bit or half or 25% pregnant. You're 100% pregnant. You're pregnant. That's it. That's what Abdullah is teaching Neville. That once you have the idea, once you've had it, I guess, then that's it. You're done. Like, just do what you need to do, which just continue to go back to what you want to learn, what you want to do about your desire, and just imagine you're there. He just says every night, just keep on doing it until you get your desire. That's it. That's what Abdullah teaches. I guess Neville Goddard. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna continue to do it. Like, I don't really know the quote Abdullah says, but he just says keep on doing it until you get your desire. That's it. And he says do it before you go to sleep. So go in imagination and imagine your desire. So his desire was to be in Barbados with his mother and his family for Christmas. And he went, he got it. He had no idea. Like, his teacher Abdullah wouldn't discuss to him about it. He's like, because all he's doing is fucking his desire up if they talk about it. Because Abdullah knew that if he discussed it, that he would put ideas into his head how he's gonna get it. Because essentially, like, you don't know how you're gonna get your desire, man. Like, don't try to figure out how you're gonna get it. Don't, because it'll work sometimes, but it won't. But I guess Abdullah just never, like, I don't know, man. In my experience, I've gotten things, I've thought about it, how to get it, but just don't discuss it all whatsoever. Don't talk about it and think how you do it. Just do what he said. Every night before you go to bed, just imagine you're in Barbados. You're there. You're in Barbados. You're in Barbados. Do the best of your ability. Like, he gave him a scene to do, and that's how Abdullah saw it. So essentially the lesson is, what do you want? Write down what you want. And then just, you're it, that's it. And then so the example that I guess you can have if you want to be married, then go to sleep as a married person. Put the ring on and then take it off in your mind. Don't actually put a ring on. Because obviously 3D action doesn't work. No matter how you do it, because you're forcing, essentially. He says put it in on imagination. So before you go to sleep, Neville talks about take off the ring as you're going to sleep as a married person. Like if a person wants to be married, he says you're married. You are married right now. That's it. That's it. Don't figure out how you're gonna get married. You know, anything like that. You want to be married, you're married. You know, if you want to be with your person, you're with your person. You know, if you want to have a lot of money, you have all that money. You want to have a business, a thriving business, you have that business. You have it. That's it. And then just figure out a scene in your imagination what that would feel like if you had it. Like, what would you think? What would you think if you had your desire? You know, like how would you act if you, like in your imagination, how would you act? Keep on doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until you get your desire. Just essentially do this before you go to sleep. You know, like I guess you could do all the other stuff, but this is what Abdullah tells Neville Goddard to do. You know, like don't think about how you're gonna get desire. You know, it's okay to have negative thoughts, you know, but just do this before bed. Essentially what Abdullah told Neville Goddard to do. So that's all you need to do. Just figure out your desire, write it down. Don't figure out the how. What do you want? Do you want $1 million? You have $1 million. That's it. And just imagine what you would do if you had $1 million. All the stuff you would buy, what you would do, what vacations you're gonna go on. Like just imagine yourself doing that, all the money that you have, like not being worried, being grateful, being happy. Like how would you act if you truly had $1 million? Or how would you act if you truly were married to the person you want to be married to? Like study Neville Goddard, study the book, Feeling is a Secret, listen to the lecture, Live in the End, and then just focus on those two things. And then just do what it says, put it to practice, you know, and then go back to them if you're feeling anything, reread them, rewatch it, because you may not understand it the first time. So yeah, so this is the end of the video. I wanted to talk about it, you know, because this lecture that he talks about is amazing, and it opened my eyes even more, you know, to my desires. So I'm gonna put this into practice right now. Already doing it. Now maybe I was already doing it previously, you know, but yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. I mean, we're just gonna, yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys like this video. You know, like you guys can find these lectures online on obviously on YouTube. Just look up how Neville met Abdullah. Essentially that, I guess. And then you'll find the conversation. Like it's his actual voice. It's not AI. You know, he's discussing a lecture, I guess. So yes, hopefully you guys all like this video. Hopefully this guys helps you out in some way, shape, or form. You know, so I'll make another video. I'm gonna post on my PEPINOO channel, man. I guess video talking about. Well, I guess I'll put another video on this one. You know, because I just talk about like my desire. I just want to talk about Abdullah because that dude's awesome. So yes, hopefully this help you guys out. Like, subscribe, comment. If you guys have any questions, when we go more in depth into the Abdullah teachings, how to do everything, please let me know. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys have a great day.